All right, hello, hello. What do we have here? This is an Echo CS590. Whoop, whoop. Hey now. I picked this up the other day. Got it real good and cheap. It's definitely been worked hard, put away wet, and it won't start. So, what we're going to do here is really simple stuff. We're going to see if it's got spark. We're going to remove the cylinder. We are going to remove the carburetor, remove the coil. Whether or not it has spark is going to determine whether we keep the coil or throw it in the trash. Whether or not the cylinder is good is going to determine whether we keep the cylinder or throw it in the trash. The carburetor is going to be good. So we're going to keep the carburetor. But then the rest of it we're going to send off to Mr. Jeremy Bellhopper. He who hops the bells. You know what I should do? I should do this. I mean, I don't want to do this, but I should do it. So I'm going to do it. Real quick like, I'm going to see if it will fire at all. I have tried to start it, and all it did was flood the cylinder with fuel. So that tells me it's probably not going to start. I think that it's something wrong with the spark. But while I got it right here, it'll be easy for me to squirt some fuel in there. Oh, come on. There we go. Here we go. Let's squirt some fuel down in there. Come on, gotta get it to pump. There we go, a couple little squirts. Pull that out. It kind of wanted to there, didn't it? Let's do just a little bit more. Nope. All right, that's good enough. So what's the point of this whole video? The point of this whole video is that I was talking with Jeremy, Mr. Bellhopper, and he said that he had all the parts to turn a what he did was he for a buddy or something, I don't know. I got to start this fucking video over. No, I'm not. I'm going to dump this fuel. Okay, I dumped the fuel. So anyways, yeah. He turned a 590 into a 620. Oh, the spark plug is loose. Could that have been the reason why it was not firing? Let's see if we got spark. So now he's got all the 590 parts left over to make a nice saw. Yeah, we got spark. We got spark, all right. Let's see what the cylinder looks like down there. It's a little bit scored up. Might be able to save that, might not. I bet you I can save it. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and take it apart. So now that I know that the coil is indeed good, whoop, whoop, the cylinder might be salvageable, so I'll keep it. And The carburetor, I'll keep it. All the rest of it is going to go to Jeremy because Jeremy has the parts left over from doing a 590 to 620 conversion in order to make a nice 590. He can't find one where he's at. I told him I got them all over the place from where I'm at. And right after that conversation, I saw what is probably the best deal that I've seen, and that is this one. I got it for 40 bucks. Now, of course, it's blown. The top handle is broken. You know, it's not without its problems. The brake handle is broken. So, Jeremy, I'm going to leave this brake off of here. It's broken anyways. It doesn't work, you know. Maybe I will go ahead and put it back on there. Just that way you'll have your little things. But it's broken right here. It doesn't actually engage the brake, so you got to have a new brake handle. See, that's broken. But that's okay, I got a handle for you. I'll throw that in. I did notice it had blue gas whenever I drained it out. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Still got the carb limiters, restrictors, whatever you want to call them, still in place. All right, cylinder should come right off now. Come on. Did I miss one or something? Nope, I did not. All right, well, in a situation like this, what I do, I grab me rubber mallet. There we go. Ooh, yeah, that's scored up. However, I bet you I can clean up the cylinder just fine. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. But that's why she wouldn't run. There we go. Scored cylinder. Scored piston and cylinder. Had blue gas in it. What's that tell you? Tells me it was probably Steel Ultra. And now with the video that I just put out yesterday, talking how Steel Ultra is the worst two-stroke on the oil on the market, got a couple people point out a couple flaws. One person, actually two people, think that I didn't mix the oil good enough. Okay. Things like that will never really be tested. Not really. You go, you didn't mix that oil very good. I shake mine all around, and mine's great. That oil is created to be very, 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 very similar to food coloring. It mixes with that gas very quickly, and just a little slosh and a little time, and you're golden. If you don't think that that is true, well, then that's okay. We can disagree. I have zero need to convince you otherwise. Where's my black marker? I want my black marker. There it is. Whenever I get these coils like this, I mark on them. Echo 590. Now I know it's an Echo 590 coil. That's good. And if I didn't make myself clear why I'm taking off the parts, the carburetor, I'll go ahead and mark it too. These parts, Jeremy does not need. And since he doesn't need them, well, I'll keep them for my parts hoard. But so let's go back to it. The Steel Ultra video. So some people think that I messed up in a couple places, right? One, they think I didn't mix up the oil good enough. I think I did. So there we go. We're done with that. What else? A handful of people were trying to blame the Chinese chainsaw. Okay. Yes, Chinese chainsaw is softer metal. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Should it have failed in that situation, though? No, it should not have. It should not have. It should have survived. But, doesn't matter. Somebody just pointed that out. Said, hey, that Chinese stuff is real soft. You're right. It is real soft. Is that why it failed? I don't think so. I think that if it had red armor in there, it would have held up. Who knows? Maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't have. What else was said? One dude got it spot on the head. He said, it went bad because you overheated your saw. You are 100% correct there, sir. What you're failing to pick up on is why did it overheat? Now, I could be completely wrong, and it could have overheated simply because it was, wait a minute, did I put the wrong one in there? I did, didn't I? Nope. I don't know. Let me see. Nope, that's the same length. All right. So anyways, man, this video sucks, doesn't it? I can't multitask. I'm very bad at multitasking. So anyways, I might just have to edit the shit out of this video and cut out all my stupid, boring shit. All right, there we go. So, all this jazz is being sent to Bellhopper so that he'll be able to take his parts and put together a complete saw. Now, what did I get out of it? I got a coil. It's a limited 590 coil, but I got a coil. In case I need one, I got one. I got a carburetor. It is a governed 590 carburetor, but if I need one, I got one. And I got a cylinder that might possibly, maybe I can clean that up and actually use it. And Jeremy is going to be able to put to good use those parts that he has. And so that's that. Oh, the handle. See? Told you I had a handle for you. So I'll put that in there too. We'll keep it off though so that we can get it to fit in as small a box as possible. And it's getting shipped out to you, Jeremy. Enjoy it. Have fun. Build a cool saw. Okay, so I didn't want to leave you guys with that because my brain gets so scattered whenever I'm doing something and trying to talk about something else. I can't do it. I can't do it. Used to I could do that stuff, but I got into a car wreck. Got frontal lobe damage. So anyways, it leaves me with various different side effects. One of them is I can't multitask. My cognitive abilities have decreased. If you think I'm smart now, back then, whoa boy, I was a genius. I don't know about that. But anyways, the point of the doing this right here is to sum up the Steel Ultra stuff. I mean, anybody that's watching this video right here, you're one of my regular subscribers anyways, and you probably want to hear my thoughts about that Steel Ultra making the Blue Max chainsaw go bad. Well, first off, it did not make it go bad. The Steel Ultra oil was not the cause for the failure. The one gentleman that said that I overheated the saw, and that's why it failed, he is 100% correct. What I am trying to say is it wouldn't have overheated if it had better oil in it. That Steel Ultra has such a thin film strength. It's minuscule, right? It's minuscule. So as soon as you add a little bit of heat to it, get it outside of its comfort zone, right, to where it starts to break down. As soon as you do that, all bets are off. We're done. So a lot of people are like, I've ran it for 13 years and it's been great for me. Well, good for you. You know that's like saying I've had a 2-wheel drive pickup truck all my life and I've never gotten it stuck. Have you taken it in the snow? You know, you see what I'm saying? So the Steel Ultra, it's not that it doesn't work. It does work. It does. It is a 2-stroke oil that will work when the conditions are right. Where it fails is whenever the conditions are less than perfect. It offers little to no protective qualities outside of perfection, okay? So if you've got a saw that, I don't care how old it is. I don't care. Everybody thinks old saws need to run on this mic, blah, blah, blah. It's all stupid, okay? Stop it. Stop. If you want to run 16:1, go for it. It's no big deal. But just because your saw says 16:1 doesn't mean it requires it, okay? That's from 1960s, okay? It'll run fine on a good 40-to-1 mix. Anyways, it's about the oil, not about the saw. The Chinese chainsaw recommending 25-to-1, that's because they are running crap oil. So they just run regular motor oil most of the time over there in China. They just bloop. And so, yeah, 25-to-1. Plus, they can say whatever they want because they don't have any EPA over there. They don't have it. It doesn't exist. So they just pollute and smog up their environment all they want. So, yeah. So the idea of a saw saying anything, it can say 50-to-1. It can say 100-to-1. It can say 12-to-1. Doesn't matter. It's about the film strength and the quality of your two-stroke oil. Now, what I am saying is that the quality of Stihl HD oil, HD Ultra, whatever, Ultra HD, I don't know, the gray bottle stuff, is so poor that if something happens outside of normal operation, it fails. Okay, so I'll do another video on this, but just throwing that out there, I definitely think that that saw, the Blue Max, under the conditions that I was running it in, because I was running it hard. It was too much for that little saw. Had a catalytic converter muffler, a full tilt catalytic converter muffler. And I was doing nothing but repeated one after the other of the other, with the grain ripping cuts. You know, it was very hard on that little saw, and it caused it to overheat. Now, if I had taken that exact same saw with the exact same fuel and just bucked stuff, sit it down, pick up this, move it over here, pick it back up, you are running it differently. You're not nearly as hard on it. The saw has time to cool itself off. The saw doesn't ever get quite as hot because it's under a low load condition. And therefore, the Stihl Ultra oil would have been just fine. However, I put it in an exceptionally tough situation, right? It would be, you know, if I had a Stihl MS 460 and I put a 42-inch bar on it and I did nothing but ripping cuts like that, one after the other with the grain, noodling for an entire tank. Nothing but 42-inch bar, 46-inch bar. It was hard on it. It was hard on that little tiny saw. Oh, and I had a catalytic muffler. You cannot leave that behind. That is critical. The saw couldn't get rid of its heat. If it can't get rid of its heat, and it's forced to actually work so hard that it generates a lot of heat, then your oil better be damn good. And that's where the Stihl fails you. Now, you can run Stihl Ultra oil for years and years and years, and it might work out just fine for you. All I'm saying is that whenever when the going gets tough, Stihl fails. Because it ain't tough. It's shitty oil. But if you're doing nothing but driving on nice, smooth pavement at 55 miles an hour, yeah, it runs great and it's smooth and you never get stuck. But whenever the road turns to dirt and the dirt turns to sloppy chocolate pudding, you need that four-wheel drive, right? That's what I'm saying. Stihl can work great in perfect situations, or it works just fine. You don't notice anything. You're like, I don't have any failures. Works perfect for me. The reason it's working perfect for you is because you're not in the situation that I was in with this Blue Max. completely overworked saw, catalytic muffler, soft Chinese parts. The steel did not offer enough protection to save the piston and cylinder. If anybody can make excuses, it's steel fanboys. They will make excuses. And it's just like, guy, man, I put it to work. It failed.